What's good, everybody? What's good? Welcome back to Deep Dive Hoops. I'm your host, Doobie Rogers. If you haven't already, please go subscribe to the Deep Dive Sports Network, home of the Deep Dive Hoops. Also, if you are on Patreon, we have just launched our first tier on Patreon that is called DDH Fam, where you will be able to receive exclusive bonus episodes. Those are only on Patreon. Those do not see YouTube at all. So, if you're on Patreon, please go check that out. Okay, so today is Monday morning, and we have the Monday check-in. That is what we do on Mondays. We do the Monday check-in. So we got a couple things we want to talk about. I got a couple things I want to talk about today. Let's see. We got the Knicks. The Knicks choose not to hang. Excuse me. Knicks choose not to hang the NBA Cup banner. Not shocked about that, but we're going to talk about it a little bit. NBA Hall of Fame candidates were announced. The people headlining this list are Candace Parker, who I think will be a absolute first ballot Hall of Famer. We got Amari Stoudemire and we got Blake Griffin as both first time candidates on this list. We'll talk about if they even deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. We're going to talk about the Timberwolves. They have reconciled with KG. He'll retire his jersey eventually and all that. And why are the Kings so terrible? So first things first I want to get to is the Knicks choose not to hang the NBA Cup banner. I don't think they gave an official reasoning why they chose not to hang the banner, but it's probably because they haven't won anything since 1970. What night was it? 1973. I don't want to be on here and not be a good, basketball historian. I'm pretty sure it was like 1973 or 74 when Willis Reed and that team back then, but they haven't really won anything since. I mean, maybe some division titles, but that don't count really in the NBA because you can win your division and get put out in the first round. So that don't really matter. So the Knicks choosing not to hang the NBA Cup banner, which I don't know. I mean, I don't know how the NBA gonna feel about that. That's the real thing. How is the NBA gonna feel about them not hanging the NBA Cup banner? Because the only two teams that have won it so far are the Lakers and the Bucks, and they both hung the banner. So I don't know if the NBA gonna really rock with you not hanging the banner. Maybe you wait until next season or something like that. Maybe you wait till the season's over, see how the season goes, see if you win a championship. If you win a championship, then you can hang them both, and you don't feel as bad about hanging a cup banner and not the championship banner. But, I understand. I feel like this is one of those 50-50 things, because if Spurs won, I would have been like, hang that shit. We did win, and the NBA is trying to make it a serious thing. So for as long as it's a serious thing, you might as well just take it serious. And if you win, you should hang the banners up. Why not? More banners. Maybe it'll give your team something to look forward to. Like, okay, we got that cup banner. It might give them that extra push to get that real banner. You never know. The teams that have won it so far haven't won the NBA championship, or really haven't even been close. So, because how a team's performing in December, they could be performing completely different in February and then completely different in April. It don't take much. All it take is one little injury and everything could go up in smoke. So, they choosing not to hang the banner. I hope they don't. I don't think it's something you'll regret, but like I said, I just don't know if the NBA is going to stand for that. I think the NBA is going to make them be like, hey, we need everybody to hang this cup banner because we taking the cup serious. So we need y'all to hang the banner. I'm curious how the players feel about it. If the players want a banner up, I mean, like I said, I think a lot of people just want to kind of wait to see how the season goes, especially because they are good and they have a chance. They one of, I would say, 5 candidates, 5, real top championship contenders. So I guess they just want to wait and see what happens. Maybe they just don't even want to hang it at all. But I don't think people will take it serious if they don't hang it. People already don't take it serious, and 2 teams have hung it. So I guess we'll find out about that. Next, on the docket is the Hall of Fame candidates were announced. Amari Stoudemire got announced as a first time person. Blake Griffin got announced first time person, and I'm pretty sure Candace Parker is a first time person on this list. So I mean, I think Candace Parker is a shoe in, like easy first ballot. She probably will headline this class, no matter who else gets in, because looking at the list, it's about 200 people on this list. I'm not about to read out all the people on the list, but if you go look up the list and you see all the people on the list, she's probably the highest rated one on the list. And I don't know if we've ever had too many women lead or headline a basketball Hall of Fame class. Maybe a Pat Summitt when she got in. Probably all I could think of. Maybe Cheryl Miller. I don't know if Cheryl Miller is in though. I don't know. I'm sure it hasn't happened much. Let's just say that there haven't been too many women from the WNBA that are so great that they headline a basketball Hall of Fame class. There's only been so many. Maybe Elisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops. I don't know what years they got in, but I'm sure they're in, and I'm sure, they were. I'm sure they were valued, but they weren't headlining the class. I think looking at how this list looks so far, I think she would headline the class. They got Amari Stoudemire and Blake Griffin. Now, I don't think either one of these motherfuckers should be in the Hall of Fame. Everybody gets consideration, but I would be shocked if Blake or Amari got in the Hall of Fame, especially Amari, because he be saying some wild stuff. So I don't know how people gonna feel about that. But Blake Griffin, I just don't think either one really did anything in their career for them to even be considered really, like, seriously for the Hall of Fame. Neither one really had much playoff success. Amari was on those Phoenix teams. They always got put out by the Spurs or the Lakers. Yeah, I mean, and Amari was okay. He was like a 20. He's kind of a 20 and 10 guy, 20 and 9, 20 and 8, 22, something like that. But he wasn't ever a guy that was going to carry you to that championship. I feel like, I think the Hall of Fame has already kind of been diluted because some of the players that are in, I think all Hall of Fames are kind of like that, because it's like if it's a down year, you kind of got to put a guy in that you didn't think would really get in. I hope this isn't one of those years. Because I don't think Amari Stoudemire should be a Hall of Famer. Maybe not for a long while, but I don't even think his numbers even sent. We gonna check his numbers out. I don't think his numbers even look anywhere near like a Hall of Famer's numbers should look. I mean, he probably only averaged about 18 a game. See, here we go. That's something y'all gonna learn. I'm good at calling out stats. I'm good at knowing the motherfucking stats. Just by hearing the name, I could probably say what he averaged. He averaged 18.9, 7.8 rebounds, 1.2 assists. He shot 53% from the field, 76 from free throw. PER is 21. I mean, Amari was okay. I mean, he's a rookie of the year. He won rookie of the year. Let's see what his accolades are. Cause I mean he got some stuff, but he ain't. His career high is 50. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he's a Hall of Fame level guy. He's been to 6 All-Stars. He's been to 6 All-Star games. He was the 02-03 Rookie of the Year. Nothing else really too crazy. I mean, he was in the slam dunk contest, He is, let's see what he is, All NBA. He's a 5-time All NBA player, All Rookie team. Let's see if he made some All Defensive teams, made 2 All Defensive teams, but that's not really saying much. Yeah, I just don't think I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. Same with Blake Griffin. I mean, Blake Griffin was good. Lob City was Blake Griffin was good. Lob City was a great time, but I don't think he ever did anything that was worthy of being in the Hall of Fame. He probably only averaged. I'm gonna try to guess his stats too. I mean, Blake Griffin had them Lob City years. He probably only averaged. I'd be shocked if Blake averaged 20 a game. Honestly, I would be shocked if Blake Griffin averaged 20 points a game. Cause I would probably say he topped out at like 18 something, probably close to Amari. Honestly, he probably got the same stats as Amari. To be honest, let's find out. 'Cause he was never that type of guy. He never. I'm good at this, man. 19 points even, eight boards, 4 assists. Shot 49% from the field, 32% from three, 69% from the free throw line. I mean, yeah, Blake Griffin's not a Hall of Famer either. I mean, these two they're great. They're I wouldn't even call them great. They're very good players. I mean, Blake Griffin won Rookie of the Year. He also their careers are really similar. He also made 6 All Star games, 5 All NBA teams, All Rookie. Yeah, I mean he got 1 All Defensive Team. Yeah, I just don't. I don't see it. I don't see how these guys. I don't see how either one of them makes it into the Hall of Fame, especially because neither one of them had any playoff success at all. Like I could see if you had some playoff success, and you was a really good player in the playoffs, and your teams always went deep. You just couldn't get it done. I could see that, but they didn't even. They barely made it anywhere. Honestly, either one of these teams. I don't think either one of those teams ever made it to a conference finals. If I'm, maybe the Suns, but I don't. I know the Clippers ain't made it to no conference finals, so it's gonna be tough. If they put them in, I'm questioning everything from here on out. If they put Blake Griffin and Amari Stoudemire into the Hall of Fame, I'm questioning everything that the NBA is talking about. And I know it's the Basketball Hall of Fame, so it could be all your stats, so they can count college and all that, but they ain't really do shit there either. So I think they both are not Hall of Famers. That's just me. Next topic I want to get to. Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett has taken a job with the Timberwolves, a front office position, and he also is gonna get his jersey retired eventually. They said either this season or next season. So, as far as the Timberwolves go, and that's the best player in your franchise's history. I mean, Anthony Edwards is, I'm sure he got something to say about that. But for now, Kevin Garnett is the best player that's ever put on the Timberwolves jersey. So he's one of the greatest players of all time. He's a Hall of Famer. So I know he had him and the former owner, Glenn Taylor, had a big problem with each other, and he said he would never accept a jersey retirement as long as Glenn Taylor was the owner. So I can understand that he's standing on it because if it's fuck that nigga, then it's fuck that nigga. That's straight up. So he stood on it, but now they got new ownership. Alex Rodriguez and Mark Laurie, I'm pretty sure, are the new owners. So they got a different relationship with him, and he's been more receptive to it. And apparently they got to the point where he feels like he can fully, ingratiate himself back into the Minnesota Timberwolves fan base and into the team. And eventually they said within the next 2 seasons he'll get his jersey retired. So I think that's huge for the Timberwolves and for their fan base. It'll be it'll be good to see KG back out there. KG, he's one of the biggest. He one of the biggest. If you could have somebody in your corner to cheer for you, KG one of them people. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be big. I think that'll and who knows, that might give the team some extra life because they kind of floundering right now in between being a play-in team and being a actual, actual team that makes the playoffs. Let me see where they're standing at right now. I'm pretty sure last I looked they were sitting at 6. So we're gonna see how they can handle it. They're sitting at 6. Sitting at 6, 19-10. We got the Suns under them. They got about 3.5 games on the Suns, but they tied with the Rockets, and they're about a game behind the Lakers. They sitting in that middle pack. I don't know if this is going to propel them or anything like that, because it always comes down to what's actually on the court. And right now, they just kind of they don't know who they are. I think they're still trying to find their identity, and I think you got some players that are kind of aging out, like Mike Conley, and eventually Gobert. I think Gobert will be out of there soon too. So you got guys, and then you don't know what you're gonna do with Julius Randle. You got Rob Dillingham. He's young, but he don't really get too much playing time. You got a lot of young guys. So is this the type of team that over the next few years takes a step back because they have to go young? They got Jaden McDaniels. They got Anthony Edwards, and that's about it. If we're being honest, that's about it. So I don't know what else. And they got Julius Randle, but you don't know what you're gonna do with him. But so this team's kind of in between phase. So maybe KG coming around to get a fan something to watch while their team is getting put out in the first round. So yeah, interesting. I'm good for the Timberwolves, good for KG, because he wasn't getting his jersey retired with the Celtics. And I always think, it always sucks. It always sucks when you see a great player who probably won't get their jersey retired, but they were great for an organization and they deserve to get a jersey retirement. That kind of goes into Chris Paul. I'm not going to get too much into Chris Paul. We're going to talk about Chris Paul tomorrow with Siaka, but it's the same thing. It's like you got all these players who they're great, but will they ever get their jersey retired? Like Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin, he's not a Hall of Famer to me, but he should have his jersey retired by the Clippers because he's the most exciting player to ever play for the Clippers. Probably one of their best players. I mean, I don't think he's the all-time leader in anything, but maybe he probably up there in points. I'd say top 5, probably in their points. And that Lob City was an era. So I think if anybody deserves a jersey retirement, it would be a guy like Blake Griffin. But they brought him in to show him his jersey retirement and all that shit, and then they traded his ass to Detroit. So you can't trust these motherfuckers. But it sucks that Chris Paul probably won't ever get his jersey retired anywhere because he never really was anywhere else that had the type of years he had with the Clippers. So for KG to finally be able to get that jersey retirement and be honored in that way, because that's probably the only team he'll be honored by. I'm sure he's been honored by the high school team already, but that ain't the same as the NBA. LeBron's going to have that same kind of, I don't know. This motherfucker's had 4 separate careers, it feels like. So I don't know if the Cavs want to do it. He's the greatest player in the Cavs history, and he did help bring a championship to Cleveland. So I feel like you kind of have to off the strength. I don't know if he's going to get a statue or nothing like that, but he definitely should get his jersey retired. I don't know if the Lakers would retire his jersey. The only way I see the Lakers retiring his jersey or giving him a statue is if you win another championship this year. That's it, because this is last year in L.A. So we going to see about that. But he's another guy who's like, the Heat ain't going to do it. And it's only been on 3 teams, so the Heat ain't going to retire it. I feel like the Cavs are probably the best option. And the Lakers, he's been with the Lakers about 6, 7, 8 years now. So if he could win another championship, I think they would consider it. They would heavily consider it. So good for KG. Good for KG. One more thing I wanted to get to. I got 2 more things I wanted to get to. First thing, Steph Curry being a sneaker free agent. He's still a sneaker free agent. I don't know if he's gonna sign a deal this season or if he's just gonna ride the season out wearing all these different shit. He wearing a lot of Nikes, And I think we all know Steph Curry is going to fucking Nike. Like, where else would he go? He's Steph Curry. I don't see him going to Reebok. He's not going to Puma. If he didn't fuck with what Under Armour had going and they couldn't even land Caitlin Clark, why would he go to any of these lower tier? It's only two real brands that honestly could even handle the star power of the Curry brand, and that's Nike and the Jordan brand. So them the only two teams he could really even go to. But he's been wearing a lot of players' different shoes. He wore Anthony Edwards shoes. I think Anthony Edwards on Adidas. I mean, I guess he could go to Adidas, but I don't know. It's a tricky situation because I don't think we've ever seen a guy in this stage of his career. I mean, he's towards the end, but he's still Steph Curry. He's still one of the greatest players ever. So for him to be a free agent on the sneaker side and he doesn't have a home as far as that's kind of crazy. And that shows, I think that just negatively shows on Under Armour. I mean, nobody ever really was rocking with Under Armour all like that. I mean, they got a couple things, but like if it wasn't that click clack back in the day, that Under Armour click clack, that Under Armour's football. Under Armour's always been football. So I know they tried to make moves into the basketball space, but I don't remember anybody else even joining Under Armour other than Steph Curry on the basketball side that's like of a higher level. So I don't even know. I mean, that shows his star power, but I don't know how they've survived in the basketball world this whole time, and they don't really have no other guys on that level. So him rocking all these other shoes and stuff, I think it's one is really cool. So it's kind of like Anthony Edwards. He saw him rocking his shoes. That's a picture. That's a moment. You see great players wearing your shoes. That's a real moment. So I'm curious to see what Steph Curry is gonna do as far as rocking getting on a new home for his Curry brand. I'm curious to see what he does. I think he's gonna go with Nike eventually, but I guess we shall see. And the last thing I wanted to talk about before we end this quick little Monday check-in episode, what is going on in Sacramento? I do not understand how they are this bad. They have just lost and have become, I think, the worst team in the West. Let's look at these standings for real, because this is something that needs to be studied. I don't know how you gather all this talent and you so fucking horrible. It doesn't make any sense. Only team with a worse record than them is the Wizards, and the Pacers got the same record as them. They are 6-22. They are worse than the Pelicans. Do y'all hear me? They are worse than the Pelicans. How are you worse than the Pelicans and you have Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Russell Westbrook, Keegan Murray, like what? Malik Monk. How is your team this bad? I do not understand. Domantas Sabonis. They got Sabonis. They got Schroeder. They got fucking Dario Saric. Like, I do not understand. They got Doug Christie as a coach. Bobby Jackson's a coach. Mike Miller is a coach. Mike Woodson's a coach. Leandro Barbosa is a coach. Like, how are they this bad? How are they this bad? What the fuck is happening in Sacramento? And then it's like, do you trade? I mean, they have enough talent on this team that they could get a real haul for all these players. But it's like, what are they doing? Because I feel like they moving in a direction that doesn't make any sense with all these players. So I'm just curious to see what happens. Because if I'm the Spurs, I'm going to get Keegan Murray. I know that's probably one of the guys they don't want to give up, but if I'm the Spurs, I want to go get Keegan Murray or I want to get Sabonis. If I can go snag one of them two from this horrible ass team, man, I mean, you could even go get. I mean, shit, you could. We don't need no more guards. I'm a Spurs fan. I'm always gonna be a Spurs fan. So when I say we, I'm always talking about the Spurs. But you got DeMar DeRozan. We already had him. Like you got these guys who, oh man, I just don't understand. Like it's just a dumpster fire over there. I hope it ain't Russell Westbrook. Everybody always say it's Russ, but I hope it ain't Russ. I just don't understand. They got so many players, they got so much talent over there, and they just can't tie it together. Ever since that season they had a few years ago when they got put out by the Warriors, that was their best year. And I'm a firm believer that when teams have great seasons like that and then the next two seasons are lower, like they're lower and they're worse, blow it up. It's not gonna get back. It's the same thing I feel with the Atlanta Hawks right now. You still got Trae Young sitting on that team, losing value, and the team is barely doing anything. I mean, I don't think they're a top seed anywhere. I'm pretty sure they're 9. So they're in the play-in. They got one game over the Bulls in the play-in. So, which the Bucks have fallen out of the play-in. That's an interesting development. But yeah, I just think these teams hold on to these guys and then they don't know what to do with them. And by the time it's time to do anything with them, it's too late and nobody wants them. So I think that's what the problem is going to end up becoming because it already took so long to trade Zach LaVine from Chicago. Now he's in Sacramento and it's looking like he needs to get moved again because what is this team doing? Where are they going? They're not doing nothing. So yeah, I'm gonna be keeping an eye on this Sacramento situation because I feel like if they want to do anything this time to blow this up, they ain't been able to have no success anyways. Even when they do blow teams up, they blew up that DeMarcus Cousins team and all, like they just something about that ownership. It always starts at the top. Something about them is a bad cloud hanging over the organization. That owner always been iffy anyways. So we're gonna see. But if I'm teams, I'm calling Sacramento like, hey, what y'all doing with these players? Cause y'all about to be a lottery team and y'all got at least 4 quality players that any team could use. Malik Monk, Sabonis, Keegan Murray, and Zach LaVine. Is a bunch of teams who could use those guys' services. So we will see what happens with that. That is the Monday check-in with Deep Dive Hoops. I'm your host, Doobie Rogers. Like I said, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast below. If you are on Patreon, please go check out our Patreon. We will have bonus episodes on our Patreon that are only on Patreon. So thank you very much for tuning in to the Deep Dive Hoops. Peace out.